Hello 9th standard students. This is the fourth and the final revision video lesson pertaining to circle and coordinate geometry. If you look at the previous three revision videos on circle and coordinate geometry, you will notice that we have touched upon some important points, important concepts that you need to remember. Also, certain questions were solved and some mixed bag questions were given pertaining to these two chapters. Let us look at, in this video lesson, how to solve questions from exercise 3.2 and 3.3 from coordinate geometry, and at the end, a mixed bag question from both the chapters. Please have a look. Now this is 3.2, a quick recap. This is the question: what is the horizontal and the vertical lines that you draw to determine the position of any point in the Cartesian plane? So I have drawn the Cartesian plane out here, which is not compulsory. You just have to remember the horizontal and the vertical line. So the horizontal line is called the x-axis and the vertical line is the y-axis. When the y-axis and the x-axis, when they intersect each other, this Cartesian plane gets divided into four parts, and each such part is called as the quadrant. Write the name of the point where the two lines intersect. The two lines where they intersect, it is called as the origin. Now this is 3.2. In this exercise 3.2, a figure like this is given to you in the textbook. These coordinates, I have jotted it down in red, and these are the questions that were given pertaining to this diagram. You have to write down the coordinates of point B. So you have to first and foremost locate where point B is. You notice that B is lying in the second quadrant and its coordinates are minus phi 2. So I have mentioned out here what is the coordinate of point B. Then write down what is the coordinate of point C. So for C, where is this point? This point is lying in which quadrant? Now, this point is lying in this quadrant, that is in the fourth quadrant, and its coordinate is 5 and minus 5. So 5 minus 5 is the coordinate of C. Then point E. This point has coordinates minus 3, minus 5. So look at point E. So minus 3, minus 5 is represented by this point E. So you could also get a question wherein uh, a graph is given to you and point E is given, and they may ask you what are the coordinates of point E. So the coordinates of point E is minus 3, minus 5. Okay. Then point G has coordinate 2, minus 4. So 2 minus 4 means which quadrant would it lie on? Positive and negative. So 2 minus 4 is this G. The coordinate is mentioned out here. The abscissa of point D is 6. I have already dealt with this. The meaning of abscissa you should know. Abscissa is the x coordinate of any point. It is called as, it is the x coordinate of any point. So the abscissa of D. So look for point D. So where do you locate this point D? D is out here. The abscissa means only the x coordinate. So it is 6. So if you get a question, what is the abscissa? Then it will be only one number that you have to write. Similarly, what is the ordinate of this D? The ordinate of this D will be 2. Okay. And 6 comma 2 together is called the coordinates of point D. So likewise, all these answers are given to you here. Please go through them. Ordinate of H. Ordinate means the y coordinate of H. So look for point H. The ordinate is minus 3. The coordinate of point L. Now L. If the point is lying on the y-axis, then its coordinates will be 0, 5. So the x coordinate will always be 0. If it was lying here, suppose at this position, then the coordinates would be 0, 6. We have done this in the earlier revision video lesson, that any point lying on the y-axis whether here above 0 or below 0, okay, in the positive direction or in the negative direction, remember its x coordinate will always be 0. If the point is lying on the x axis, on the positive side or on the negative side, its y coordinate will be 0. So this is something that you need to remember. These are two very, very important points. Now, similarly, the coordinates of point M, isn't M lying on the x-axis? Yes, in the negative direction. So its y coordinate will be 0, that is its ordinate is 0 and its abscissa is -3. This is exercise 3.3, question number 1. Here, these points are already mentioned on this Cartesian plane. All you have to do is write down which quadrant or which axis they lie on. Now, -2, 5, negative, positive. So it will lie in the second quadrant. So you look for this negative and positive. 3 minus 1, positive, negative. So 3 minus 1, it will lie in the fourth quadrant. -1, 0. Whenever you see 0 in any one of the coordinates, remember it will either lie on the x-axis or it will lie on the y-axis. Remember that point. So -1, 0, it will lie on the x-axis and it will be on the negative side or the negative direction. 1, 2, both are positive, +1, +2, so it will lie in the first quadrant. And -3, -5 will lie in the third quadrant. So you could get such type of questions for MCQ where they could ask you -1, 0. Where does it lie? First quadrant, second quadrant, x-axis, y-axis. Okay. Now, exercise 3.3 is based on plotting the points. You would not get to plot the points in your forthcoming paper. Okay. But the points are plotted out here just to show you how to do it. Now -2, 8. -2, 8, you know, lies in the second quadrant. So -2 and 8. So this is the position of the point. All you have to do is next to it, you have to write the coordinate and you have to write here any one letter, either A or B or C or whatever is given. And if no point is given, you can put any point out here. Then look at this -1, 7. The point is here. You can write its coordinates below. Next to that, you can write here Q and write down Q coordinate is -1, 7. So this is how you go about plotting the points. Now 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 means 3 is the x coordinate and -1 is the y coordinate. So 3 minus 1 position is here. So if you want, you can even draw a line, a perpendicular line from here to here and from here to here. 0 and -1.25. Students, I have mentioned this before. When the x coordinate or the y coordinate is 0, it will not lie on any of the quadrants. It will lie on the axis. Now here, since x coordinate is 0, the point will lie on y axis. So isn't this point lying on y axis? See here. Okay, so its coordinates are 0, -1.25. So I hope this is clear. This is 3.3, question number 2, wherein you have to plot the points on the graph. But plotting of these points on the graph will not be asked in the periodic. But yes, you could get a question where a graph is given to you, a Cartesian plane is given to you, and they may ask you to write down the position of that point. Example, if I mention this point as, say, S, okay, without these coordinates written here, just S, I could ask you what is the position of S or what are the coordinates of point S, and then you would write the answer or you would click on the correct option. S coordinate is 1, 3. I hope that is clear. Now these are questions for practice. Very, very important. Keep a pen and a paper ready. And I'm discussing these questions. No doubt, such similar type of questions I have already taken in the previous online video lesson, the revision class. Okay, but still, I am discussing it once again for those who have not understood. Now, questions for practice. Here, this angle is 50. You have to find out angle POR. Look at arc PR. This arc PR is subtending or making two angles. One is here on the tip and the other is at the center. So when you see a diagram like this, you should remember that the angle at the center, that is POR, is double the angle subtended or made by this arc PR at any other place on the circle. So angle O will be 100 because this is 50. Okay. And suppose angle O was 120 degree, then what will this angle be? It will be 60 degree. The angle on top here, which is narrowing, will always be half of the angle below here, which is on the center. Now, this question, they have given you that ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral and the values are given. BAC is given as 60. You have to find out this entire angle in red, that is angle DCB. The solution is already given to you. It is 90. How do we get it as 90? Now, look for this angle BAC. Angle BAC is 60. And look for this chord BC. I have told you this in the previous online class also. You have to decide which chord to take. So take chord BC, angle BAC and angle BDC. Are they not angles in the same segment of the circle? Yes. Okay. So what will be the value of D? It will be exactly the same as angle A. So measure angle D and measure angle A will be equal. So what is measure angle D? It will be 60 degree. Now look at triangle BCD. In this triangle BCD, this angle 30 plus 60 plus this angle BCD will give you 180 degree because it is angle of a triangle. So when you solve it, you get measure angle C equal to 90 degree. So the important step in this is first deciding which chord to take. After you take the chord, you have to decide which are the angles lying in the same segment of a circle. Then you get that angle, and then here you have used angle sum property of a triangle. Okay, revise this. Now these are also very, very important questions. This diagram, PQCD, is a cyclic quadrilateral. Now, in this cyclic quadrilateral, you have to choose the incorrect option, the option which is wrong. Now, if at all you come across a question like this, remember one thing. Find out all the angles of this quadrilateral first. Okay, how do you find it out? Opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary. Okay, here I've not mentioned it is a cyclic quadrilateral. Okay, it is a cyclic quadrilateral, so 2a plus a is equal to 180, 3a equal to 180, so a is equal to 60. So here a is 60 means angle C is 60. So angle C is 60. So what will be angle P? 60 into 2, 120. So the first option is correct. Now look at the next option. You do this. B plus 7b plus 20 is 180. 8b plus 20 is 180. So with that you get the value of B. Once you get the value of B, you substitute it in Q. Then you find out what is angle Q. You find out angle D. Okay. You will get Q as 20 degree because you get B value as 20. What will be D? 7 into 20 plus 20. That is 7 into 20, 140. 140 plus 20 is 160. So this combination is also correct. Now look at this. Q is 20 degree. I got Q as 20 here. P is 120. P is 120, which I got here. So this is also correct. See, though Q and P here, they are not opposite angles of the cyclic quadrilateral, but their values are correct. You have to look at the values. You have to look at the measures of the angles. You will notice this is the wrong answer. So you have to click on the wrong answer. So you could get a question like this where they may ask you choose the wrong option or choose the incorrect option. So in that case, everything will be correct. One may be a wrong option. And how do you go about doing it? You just have to calculate the measures of all the angles of this quadrilateral and keep it ready. And then you see which is the wrong option. Okay, so this is a very, very important question. Revise it. Now, these are also some MCQs. The distance of -4, 5 from x-axis is. I have just shown the graph here. It's just for better understanding, but you can even do this orally without any graph. -4, 5 means it's lying here, -4, 5. How far it is from x-axis? So count, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is 5 units. So answer is 5 units. The coordinates of a point whose ordinate is 1 and which lies on y-axis is. Ordinate means which coordinate am I talking about? I'm talking about the y coordinate. So y coordinate is 1. So look for y coordinate. Okay, here y coordinate is 1. None of the options will be correct because none of in these places the y coordinate is not 1. So this is the correct option. Okay. The coordinates of point whose abscissa is -2. What is abscissa? X coordinate. So look for x coordinate. Where is x coordinate? Okay, these are all x coordinate. In this x coordinate is -2. So this is the correct answer. And it is lying on the x axis. So if it lies on the x axis, its y coordinate is 0. So these are the type of MCQs that you could expect in the paper. Okay, some by mere observation you will just get the answer, and some questions you will have to take a rough paper, jot it down and just click in the correct answer. Okay, segment of a circle is a region between chord and dash of a circle, so it is the arc of a circle. I have done this even in the previous video lesson. X is greater than 0 and y is equal to 0. Now if you get confused with such type of questions, cite an example. X greater than 0. Okay, I've taken 3. Any positive number is greater than 0. And y is equal to 0. So y coordinate has to be 0. So when it is such type of coordinates, where do you think they will lie? They will lie on the x-axis because 4, 0, 5, 0, 10, 0, -3, 0 means it is lying on the x-axis. Now, I want you to think about this. X is greater than 0. Greater than 0 means give any positive number. Y is less than 0. Less than 0 means it is a negative number because negative numbers are all less than 0. So positive, negative, positive, negative. Which quadrant will it lie on? Think about it. Okay. I hope you have understood this. I want you to go through all the revision video lessons once again. This revision video lesson is very important. Jot down all the important points that I have mentioned and try to solve this on your own. Wishing you all the best for your forthcoming periodic test. Okay, and hope that you all do your paper well. Thank you.